Welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to share with you the best neighborhoods in Marana, Arizona. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to put my 15 years of appraisal experience to work and give you a little bit of insight from my perspective on which of these areas is most likely going to be the best investment for you. Let's jump in. Hey, I'm Rich, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about lifestyle, real estate, and new builds in Tucson, Arizona and surrounding areas, then you have come to the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned in and tap the bell so you can be the very first to learn everything that you want to know. All right, so today I'm going to be your guide as we tour through Marana, Arizona, and to do that, I've asked Google for some assistance, and I'm going to get the map pulled up here so that we can take a look together at we can get oriented. All right, so let's dive in. What I've got in front of me here is, and what you're seeing is Google's been kind enough to outline generally where Marana is located. Now, I've spent a lot of time in Marana, both in my real estate career, but I've got a lot of friends that live in Marana. I've done a lot of hiking in Marana, off-roading. I mean, it's changed quite a bit in the last 10 years. As you can see, it's northwest of Tucson. Downtown Tucson would be located about here. And we've got the University of Arizona here just to kind of get oriented. So Marana takes up a pretty big area, and there are some incredible neighborhoods as part of Marana, from master plan communities to resort style communities to everywhere in between, older, well-established communities. And I'm definitely going to dive into each one of those because I have some unique perspective having lived in Tucson my entire life. For those of you that don't know, my family's been in Tucson for over 150 years. So as you can imagine, it's the city that I know best for sure. Just getting oriented, you've got a couple national parks that I kind of wanted to point out. Saguaro National Park here. The Desert Museum, that's kind of a cool hot spot if you've got kids, or if you're just curious about what the desert has to offer in terms of wildlife, that's a pretty cool place to check out. What else do we have around here? White Stallion Ranch, that's kind of a venue. Omni Tucson National, that's a big golf course, very popular golf course. You've got the Santa Catalina Mountains that are all here. So lots of hiking, big mountains back there. You've got Catalina State Park here to the east. So quite a bit within arm's reach. And I know it's hard to tell just because of the map, but Marana is actually one of the fastest growing areas in southern Arizona. And median home price right on par with what we're seeing with the greater Tucson area, about $450,000. So very affordable in comparison. And cost of living in general is a little bit higher than the national average. But the reality is if you compare many of the places, especially the resort style neighborhoods in Marana, you compare that to other resort style or upscale locations like Scottsdale, for instance, up near Phoenix, it's still very affordable in comparison. So it's got some upside. We've got a lot of schools in Marana, many of which are top rated in the state. And the average commute for someone who lives in Marana, at least to downtown Tucson's, about 25 to 30 minutes. So if you're not already familiar with Tucson, then anything above a 30-minute commute is somewhat unusual. We're kind of spoiled here in Tucson because I work with a lot of clients that move from places outside of Tucson, and they have a 30, 45-minute, even an hour commute that they're used to one way. For me, I know that if I have to drive 20 or 30 minutes, that's kind of the max, and I like it that way. Call me spoiled, but that's kind of what I've gotten used to living in Tucson. And even if you're living in Marana, which is on the outskirts of Tucson, you're still looking at a 25 to 30-minute commute, which I think is pretty nice. So first up, we're going to go over and look at a community called Continental Ranch. And Continental Ranch takes up this whole area. As you can see, Continental Ranch is made up of quite a few little sub neighborhoods: Continental Reserve, Sierra Crest, Continental Ranch proper. Now, one of the things that I wanted to note about Continental Ranch is it is a very well-established neighborhood. And well-established meaning it really hit its stride. You've got homes that were built in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and you even have some new builds in Continental Ranch as well, built within the last couple years. Predominantly, though, homes in that area are about 20 to 30 years old. And the neighborhoods are very well established, and it is a great, thriving community. It really caters to really any age, whether you've got little ones that you're considering, whether it's just you, whether you're planning on being here part-time, only a couple months out of the year. It really kind of caters to everyone, and it has a wide range of property types too. So single story, 2-story, smaller homes at like 1,200 square feet to larger homes, 3,000 or more square feet. So you've got a wide range of options, wide range of styles. Because of that, you also have a wide range of prices. So that can help no matter what type of affordability you might have in mind. Continental Ranch can definitely help be a good location to give you a lot of options to look at. One of the good things about this area is it is located right off of I-10. So whether you're commuting to places like Casa Grande, where they've got that big Lucid Motors plant, even Phoenix, we've got some people that commute all the way to Phoenix, or whether you're commuting into Tucson, working in downtown Tucson, the university, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base over here, and then you've got Raytheon, Home Goods, Amazon, all located in this area as well. So as you can see, it's a pretty straight shot. Getting on I-10 makes it really convenient. So next up, we're gonna jump a little bit west to an area called Saguaro Bloom. Now, Saguaro Bloom is a much newer community. Predominantly, the builder that started this community is D.R. Horton. They started in the last 10 years, and it's comprised of quite a bit of new builds, single-story homes, 2-story homes. You've got a lot more natural desert just because as you go a little bit further west of I-10, it becomes more and more rural. So these homes are predominantly newer. Home prices are going to be a little bit higher in general compared to Continental Ranch because of the new finishes, the new builds. You know, a lot of that, there is still building that's going on in the community, which is helping keep those prices high. So could be a good investment opportunity, just knowing that there's an active builder still operating in the area. Typically what that means is that builder is going to continue to increase pricing steadily over the course of time. So great home options in here. Couple things that I wanted to note is in Saguaro Bloom, you do have a lot of little neighborhoods, some of which are age restricted and gated. So again, it really caters to all walks of life, all ages. They've got lots of amenities from splash pads, pools, parks, picnic areas, everything that you would really hope in an amenity rich community. This area has developed fairly rapidly as well. So a lot of the homeowners in this area have benefited from some pretty substantial increases in their values over the last 5 to 7 years. Next up, we're going to jump over to one of the most popular communities in Marana, which is called Gladden Farms. So we were just over here at Saguaro Bloom. Gladden Farms is a little bit further north, and it's a big master planned community. And these, again, are predominantly newer built homes. Gladden Farms really hit its stride in the last 10 years. We've got 5 or 6 builders that predominantly operate in this area, from Meritage Homes, KB Homes, D.R. Horton, LGI Homes, just to name a few. And this is really focused on amenities. So you've got community parks, you've got a river park here, you've got a huge green space and park here. Each little neighborhood has some designated common areas, usually with a park, picnic area, but you've got pools, clubhouses, they've got walking paths, splash pads, playgrounds, sports courts, really anything and everything you could hope for. And again, catering to a wide range of buyers, no matter what your age is. This is the largest master plan community that is on this list. And I would say it's most competitive with Continental Ranch in terms of its size. It's much newer like I mentioned, than Continental Ranch. So if you're looking for something that's new, they've got lots of active builders still in the area. And they've got lots of homes that are 7 to 10 years old. So if you're not wanting to go directly to a builder, you want to buy something that's already existing. Some of the benefits of that would be landscaping done in the back. A lot of times people do upgrades to their home after they've already bought it from the builder. So you get to kind of take the home where somebody else has already kind of done some improvements, and you don't necessarily have to absorb the cost of that. Now, one of the reasons that this area is really popular for buyers considering Marana is its affordability. For what you get, because it's a little bit further north of Tucson, you get a new build with more square footage and probably more upgrades for a much more affordable price than you would in, say, Northwest Tucson. So people who want to be close to Northwest Tucson with an easy commute, you can see how close it is to I-10. This is an incredible option for them to accomplish both affordability, the house that they want, buying new with builder warranties and all that sort of stuff, amenity rich. So it really has a lot of the conveniences and checks a lot of boxes for buyers who are shopping in Marana. And I think that that's part of the reason why this is such a popular area for buyers to consider. All right, next up, we're gonna move across I-10 here. Now, this is one of my favorite areas, and I've made a lot of different videos about Dove Mountain because I do a lot of work and have done a lot of work over the last 10 years in this area. So if you haven't checked out some of my videos specifically around Dove Mountain, I've got those if you want to take a deeper dive. Dove Mountain is much more of a resort styled community. They've got a lot of gated communities. You can just tell driving through Dove Mountain, it feels very upscale. That's something that I really appreciate about Dove Mountain. And I think some of the things that contribute to this resort feeling in Dove Mountain is the fact that you've got the Gallery Golf Club, which is a beautiful golf resort. They've got a restaurant, pro shop, incredible golf course. And you've got the Ritz-Carlton, which is located here. And so those are two really high-end golf clubs that you can check out that are part of Dove Mountain. And you've got lots of building activity that's gone on over the last 20 years in Dove Mountain. Also, it's kind of a dead-end loop. So there's not a whole lot of through traffic. It's kind of 50-50 on whether people like this about Dove Mountain or hate it about Dove Mountain. But you start here from Tangerine Road, you drive up to Dove Mountain Boulevard, and you go all the way around this loop. And it kind of dead ends here. Now they're building a lot of new construction here. Mattamy Homes is still very active. Only one of the builders. There's several builders still very active in the Dove Mountain area, but Mattamy Homes is occupying this space along with Richmond American. And it just dead ends there. So you're really not going to get a lot of through traffic. Like the only people that go up Dove Mountain Boulevard, they have a specific purpose there. So it kind of preserves that privacy. And so much of Dove Mountain is new, from the roads to the infrastructure to the signs. It's just a really nice, well-rounded community. And one of the things that I love about it is I'm not necessarily a golfer, but I know that for people that do golf, it's very important. They've got 81 holes of championship golf, so definitely something to check out. But my favorite is they got 40 plus miles of walking trails. So for the 7 or 8 months a year that we get of really nice weather in Tucson, those outdoor trails are amazing. You can walk the dog, take some friends or family for a walk, go out, clear your head, just enjoy some nature scenery. Overall, Dove Mountain has a very specific feel that is very resort minded. So check that out. Definitely one to put on the list. All right, so next what we're gonna do is go back over near Gladden Farms. This area is called San Lucas. San Lucas is, again, a newer community, high affordability. So we're just jumping across I-10 from Gladden Farms. Not part of a big master plan community like Gladden Farms is, but still high affordability. It's got lots of green spaces, which makes it feel really nice, kind of upscale. And it does have still quite a few of amenities. So parks, walking trails, sports courts, everything that you would really hope for to have at your fingertips to be able to walk around your neighborhood and enjoy it no matter what age you are. Next, I'm going to take you to a place called Tangerine Crossing. And Tangerine Crossing is right here. So we talked about Dove Mountain, we talked about Gladden Farms. Just to keep you guys oriented, Tangerine Crossing is here. Now, one of my favorite things about Tangerine Crossing is the location. Because it's on Tangerine Road, you can see it's just within Marana. But on the other side of this, you get into Oro Valley, which is one of the most popular and higher priced areas in Northwest Tucson. So you're sandwiched, you've got all the amenities of Dove Mountain, you've got all the amenities of Marana and all the hiking, biking, trails. You've got relatively easy access to I-10. You're probably 15 minutes to I-10, which really isn't that bad of a commute straight down Twin Peaks. But you also have access to all of Northwest Tucson. So you kind of get access, you're kind of perfectly positioned in the middle of all three areas. And because of that, I think location-wise, Tangerine Crossing is a huge bang for your buck. Gated communities, lots of convenience like I talked about because of its location. It's got incredible mountain views of both the Santa Catalinas or other surrounding mountains. And you're gonna find upscale homes with upgraded interior finishes, a little bit higher price point than what you're gonna see, say, in Gladden Farms, Continental Ranch. But in comparison to what your price ranges you're gonna see in Dove Mountain, I think it's definitely one to put on the list. With all my experience of working in real estate, if I was considering Dove Mountain, I definitely would take a look at Tangerine Crossing. All right, and next up, I'm gonna take you to Sky Ranch, which is just south of Tangerine Crossing. Cool name, Sky Ranch. I don't know why I like that name, but it just sounds kind of cool. Low density, meaning they built with a lot of open space in mind. They wanted to give people the sense of not being able to reach out one window of their home and touch their neighbor's wall. So if you like that sense of homes that are properly spaced out, low density communities like Sky Ranch is definitely going to be one that we want to focus on for you. Sky Ranch is convenient, much like Tangerine Crossings. It's positioned perfectly to Dove Mountain, Marana, Oro Valley, Northwest Tucson, and a reasonably short drive to I-10 if you got to commute somewhere else in Tucson. Now, lots of custom built homes and higher end homes in Sky Ranch. So probably going to be a step above in terms of price range when comparing to Tangerine Crossing or Dove Mountain. But you do get that exclusivity. You're going to get a lot more mountain views. It's close to a lot of hiking, biking trails for outdoor enthusiasts. And if you're looking for something a little bit more bespoke and convenient, this is definitely an area, Sky Ranch. Put that on your list. If you want more details about any one of these neighborhoods and some that didn't even make the list in Marana, I'd love to send you a customized list. So make sure you grab my contact information. I'll make it easy. We can connect phone, email, text message, or you can click my Calendly link. We can set up a Zoom call and we can chat just like this. And I can put my 15 years of real estate experience as both a real estate appraiser and a realtor to work for you. So definitely grab my information and keep me in the loop, whether you're moving today or a year from today. I'm happy to kind of help make that move smooth for you. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you that I would share a little bit of insight using my 15 years of appraisal experience in real estate in Southern Arizona to help indicate which of these areas I think would be the best investment. And when I say investment, let me just break that down a little bit. None of this is a guarantee, but if I was using all of my experience and I was buying in one of these areas and I was evaluating from an appraisal perspective, which one is most likely to see the most consistent and highest appreciation over time, where values are going up and up and up, this is the area that I would choose. So Dove Mountain is the area that I would choose because of a couple reasons. It has a luxury market appeal. Now, that's important because the luxury real estate market typically appreciates faster and holds value well, especially as demand for upscale living and resort style amenities like this has continue to grow. It's definitely positioned well. The other thing is the location. There is quite a bit of building that still has to happen. This whole space of Marana is still very, very underdeveloped. Now, Dove Mountain is most likely going to be the northwest Tucson or Oro Valley of its area, meaning that there's quite a bit of building up of both commercial and residential properties that still has yet to happen over the next 10 to 15 years. And as we continue to see that, that's only going to mean that this becomes more of an exclusive neighborhood because demand is going to continue to soar because of its location. You've got more amenities here. You already have a lot more amenities in Oro Valley and Northwest Tucson, still quick to I-10, and it's already very well established. It's a larger community in comparison to, say, Tangerine Crossing or Sky Ranch. So it has a lot more momentum in demand than some of those other areas. Now, there's also strong infrastructure being built in Dove Mountain as well. Like I mentioned, there's still several active builders. There are plans to build much more homes in Dove Mountain. Most likely that's going to bring more commercial developments within Dove Mountain or close to Dove Mountain as well. And that will likely keep pushing appreciation up. And the last factor that I think is really important is it really is a hub for tourism and the luxury economy. I mean, we've got the Ritz-Carlton, which is probably one of the most exclusive resorts in Tucson, right in the heart of Dove Mountain. That's going to continue to be a strong North Star for any luxury-minded tourist and anyone who's exploring Tucson with a luxury mindset. That's going to be a location that they're going to consider staying. And some of the first real estate that they see is going to be Dove Mountain. So that just the Ritz-Carlton being located there is really going to be a hub for other luxury buyers that aren't yet familiar with Tucson to be located. And then the first pieces of real estate that they consider are most likely going to be Dove Mountain. So for those reasons, that is why Dove Mountain, I believe, would be the best investment if you're considering buying in Marana. Now, keep in mind, this is just my 2 cents. I've explained my methodology and my rationale behind it. This is by no means the only great neighborhood in Marana. And if Dove Mountain doesn't check the boxes for you, there are still incredible areas. And if you're curious what the appreciation over time looks like in any of the other areas that I mentioned or some that I didn't, make sure you grab my contact information. We can connect over the phone, text, email, or with my Calendly link. We can get face-to-face in Zoom, have a chat, and I'm happy to help however I can, be a resource for you. Well, there you go. Now you know everything about the best neighborhoods in Marana, Arizona. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button to help me out in the channel. Make sure you subscribe for more. And as always, as per tradition, I have a little important reminder, and it goes like this. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. Keep that as a reminder. I know it's a reminder for me from time to time. And remember, if you're planning on moving today or a year from today, let's get connected so I can be the right resource when the time is right for you. All my information is in the description below. And until next time, I hope to see you around the neighborhood.